Am I the most attractive person in the room right now?
Welcome to the kitchen, Ollie and Gareth. Today we're going to make pistachio cream-filled stuffed donuts.
Can't wait.
With
Can't
no
wait.
calories whatsoever.
No calories at all. Have you ever
calories
made
at all.
donuts before at home?
I've never made donuts before because it's one of those things because you have to fry them, don't you? So I'm kind of a bit like...
Or do you?
When you fry them, let's be honest, they are blooming lovely.
Yeah.
We're not going to deep fry ours. It just stinks out the kitchen.
And also, what do you do with the oil afterwards? Like,
Yeah.
you can't put it on the sink.
Yeah, so we're going to air fry ours today.
Oh,
so,
Love an air fryer.
Don't
And
Love
they
an
come
air
out
fryer.
so well. Like you can bake donuts, you can air fry donuts. We're going to do like the tangzhong method. Have you heard of Japanese milk bread?
Yes, I have. I heard of Japanese milk cake.
You create a water roux to start with, or a milk roux, and what it does, it makes the texture so fluffy and amazing. It holds on more moisture, and it also makes them last longer. Okay, and it's really simple. It's like a 2 to 3 minute step. Once you add it to your dough, it does change it to the next level.
Okay.
We've got strong bread flour.
Yep.
So making this, which we're going to add to our main dough. Okay, we're just going to add some milk.
Whole milk?
And just whisk it. So do you want to be the whisker? Because I think
whisk.
now, Gareth,
Yeah,
I think would you say out of the two of you that Gareth is more of the foodie, or do you?
Gareth is much more of a foodie than I am. He's also the better cook than I am. We do go out every now and then, but since we've had the kids, it's been slightly more difficult, and so we do cook. It's kind of our end of evening, have a glass of red wine and chill. And
Yeah. Have I done that? It's kind of stuck to the side.
So yeah, so with this, you don't need to worry too much. So you don't want it to be super lumpy, but it's not the end of the world. We're just going to heat this for like 2 to 3 minutes until it starts to thicken and becomes a paste.
And what's the difference between this flour and what we're going to be using later?
So it's exactly the same flour. For anything using yeast and making bread, you want to use a strong, high-protein bread flour.
So that's one. That bread flour and flour is different.
In the fact that much more protein.
Fine, all right.
And it's sort of it's much more glutinous. So let's cook it up. So literally just on a medium heat. Do you want to stir, Ollie? So the most important thing is to stir it constantly at this point, and it is only for 2 minutes. You'll see it will suddenly start to thicken. And I sometimes get the whisk in there.
All right, we are starting
So you can start
to
thickening it. Yeah, it doesn't take long.
Yeah.
Start whisking it now. There you go. And it will go very quickly.
Yes, it definitely is going, yeah.
Yeah. So you can take it off the heat now.
Yeah.
Bring it over here and just keep whisking it on
It's
there.
a bit like an egg, isn't it? Once it's done,
Yes.
it's hot enough to be able to play.
That's perfect. So we can just literally leave that there to set aside, and that will just slightly cool down while we bring our dough together.
It does smell delicious as well.
Well, I did forget to soften my butter, so I'm just going to soften my butter. Now we're going to bring the dough together. So we've got some strong bread flour, again the same flour. You mind dumping in the salt for me there?
Salt, yeah.
So salt.
Good salt.
Sugar.
What type of sugar is this?
That's just golden caster sugar.
Excuse fingies.
Before I put the yeast in, I just kind of mix that a bit because we don't want it to directly touch the salt because sometimes it can damage the yeast. Dried yeast goes in.
Is yeast alive?
Yeah, it comes back. It comes alive.
Yeah.
Like a
this is
sea
right.
monkey.
Like a sea monkey, yeah.
So you put it in, and once it gets the sugar, it goes morning. So
Well,
you are
in
talking to someone
ferment-
that's not very good at this
fermentation.
game.
I
So
know,
I'm learning.
See, with sourdough, that's wild yeast, so that's just taking the yeast from the air that's all around us, and then that will grow. Yeah.
Yes, I did hear that there was a weird thing years ago where people were using their vaginal yeast.
That was me.
That was
I've
you.
actually used something.
Lovely.
Would they tell someone that they've done that before they give them the bread?
I really hope so.
Into the dry ingredients, 1 egg,
No
shell.
shell at all.
no
Oh,
milk. What I like to do is just kind of bring it together with a rubber spatula, otherwise it's won't kind of cling it from the outside, if you get my drift.
you're
Bring it together.
left-handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
For
didn't
you.
know that. No, I'm not. I'm right-handed.
Apparently, when you have twins, I know yours aren't identical twins. When you have identical twins, apparently one is left-handed, one is right-handed.
Really,
Is
that's
that
interesting.
true?
Do you know what the other day, Cozzy was doing something and it looked like she was like her dominant hand was a left hand.
Really? I haven't noticed that yet.
I didn't know because they do certain things. He's definitely right-handed because he constantly keeps throwing things at me.
One of my questions I like to ask is, can you remember your best ever birthday cake? Did you used to have special birthday cakes?
You know what? That's such a funny question because it almost never entered my mind.
Really?
So the style was the big rectangular frosting, number, like icing, but it was a very. I mean, you almost go and you see them in shops nowadays for the basic sort of. Yeah,
Because you can redesign yourself
and it
now.
was-
You can buy them in Costco and they're big. But I personally, if you want to make me happy, Marks and Spencer's Caterpillar, you can't beat it.
Colin the Caterpillars are good.
They are
That's true.
fabulous.
I do love
They're
them.
very, very good.
I like to eat the face.
I've got the tangzhong now, which I'm going to add in. So now we're just going to knead this together. So everything's in there at the moment.
Okay. How would you?
apart from butter.
How would you bring this together if you weren't using one of these?
You just want to have clean hand, like, and with a claw, just kind of like keep it in the bowl.
Like, yeah, okay.
Just bring it together until it becomes like stuck together as one, rather than being all shaggy. And then you'd then tip it out onto the surface and begin to knead it.
I remember we had something very similar. It was kind of like that, and it would stick to it so much. But that's a one prong, and so
This is
kind
a
of
donut.
easily done.
These come off. You pop them off and they change.
Very clever.
Have you got one at home? Bring it together so the gluten starts to develop for about a minute, and now I'm going to add that butter that I softened. That's going to make it taste lovely, it's going to be enriched, but also when you add the butter it makes it really soft bread. If you're doing it by hand it does take time. So we're just going to mix that in. So I've got it on quite a high speed at the moment. I'm just going to, and I'll have to scrape it down a couple of times just to kind of get the butter in there. If you're kneading this at home by hand, just know that you're going to get really sticky and messy, and you just have to keep kneading it without washing your hands, without adding extra flour, and eventually it will come together.
Now, you often say to me, add more flour, as in put more flour on the side, because it sticks.
Oh, I shouldn't do that.
Well, you can. Like there are some instances where you need to do that. For example, if you're rolling out biscuit dough, you'll need extra so it doesn't stick to the surface. And you can definitely use flour when you're doing bread if you're finding it's hard to handle, but of course, the more flour you put into the dough, the drier it's going to be.
You know, my favourite joke of all time is, why did the baker's hand smell like poo?
No.
Why does the baker's hand smell? Oh, yeah.
Ruined it.
Because he needed a poo. The dough is ready. So you'll see that it's kind of much smoother. Have a feel of it if you like.
God, it's not sticky at all. Well, it's sticky, but it's not coming off your hands.
No.
It's all homogeneous. It's all homogeneous.
It's all homogeneous. Now, with the thing with my dough, so I do work with a very wet dough. I like
Good for you. Good for you.
There's a phrase in bread making called the wetter the better. Yeah. And basically, the more hydration you get in your bread, the more squishy it's going to be. That's why focaccia's lovely. So my dough is sticky, but you can see it's all just sticking to itself.
Yeah, not to your hands. So the end result of this will be what? Lighter, fluffier.
Lighter and fluffier.
God, that's
yeah.
clever, isn't it?
So it's kind of, so I've got an oiled bowl, just going to put it in there, and you just basically need to wait for that to kind of like double in size and rise up.
Prove.
Yeah. It usually will take about 1.5 to 2 hours somewhere warm. So I'm going to put a cloth on that and then go and get the one that's risen, and we can do the next step. That's one that's risen, so you see the difference.
Here's one we made earlier.
You can punch it if you like, because now it's time to punch it down.
Like that.
Yeah, isn't it?
Oh my God, it's
yeah,
got airy.
see?
So is that enough?
Yeah, get it out on the surface and just kind of like knock it back a bit. So you can see it's kind of like very, very sort of all as one, quite pliable now. And we're just going to divide it up and make our donut balls. You can even make your donut balls and then put them in the fridge the night before and have them ready for the next day.
So if you've got a party the day
get it all done and then just have the balls, and they'll last in the fridge for up to a couple of days.
Also, donuts are worth it.
I do them about 70-ish grams per one. Do you want to have a go at doing that?
I'll be
Roughly,
really
it could be
annoyed if I don't
between
get this
70 and
first time.
75.
61, Gareth, come on.
I know, you get it.
I'm so competitive.
That's 75 now.
73.
That's okay, leave it at
A
that.
little bit's going to come off.
Between 70 and 70.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
That's all right, Gareth, that's
Another
fine.
one? Yeah? 109? What's wrong? Going the wrong way. You have a go. You see how good you are.
Okay, fine,
I'm
right.
going to ask you two if you're competitive with each other.
I'm more
No, I'm not competitive as a person, which is why I got 69 just there. I'm not worried
no,
about
that's
it. It's
really
pretty damn
annoying.
good.
He's also really annoyingly, he'll do something and it does it perfectly sometimes.
71, that'll do.
I feel like that.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah?
I feel like that's...
105.
That shows what I know. So I've got a couple of bits of paper. For safety, just oil the paper.
Is this
Thank
vegetable
you.
oil?
Just sunflower oil.
Sunflower,
You could
okay, same
butter it
thing.
as well. So say I've got this flour. This is gluten-free flour.
Yeah.
And it's a really good top tip, this. Now, I've got told this at our local pizza restaurant by the Italian chefs, and they use gluten-free flour on their pizza peel because it won't stick to the dough. So
Brilliant. That is a great tip.
yeah, it really is a game changer for your pizza making. Have you ever shaped a bread ball, a roll?
He's going
or
straight
anything?
for it. He's not even
So don't
listening
do
to the
that.
instructions.
Why?
So you want it to be nice and tight. So what I do first is I just bring in the outside into the centre like that. So it's kind of like, looks like a little dumpling situation.
Okay.
And you're tightening the outside of the ball then. Then I turn it over using quite a lot of pressure against the surface.
It's surface.
And then it makes it really nice. And, yeah.
Like that?
Yeah. So feel how, that's it. Nice, nice,
Nice.
tight. A nice tight ball is what you're looking for. Pop it on there. So we'll put them just on. I usually do about 6.
12 balls and a lovely
Okay.
bottom. Here we go. All right.
So it's a nice way to do like making if you're making your own buns at home and everything, just to shape them like this.
Nice buns.
The best thing is baking's fun, but also just heavily innuendo. Okay, we've got our
Right, so
balls.
now they're done. So they need to now rise and puff up again for at least like an hour. They won't be double in size. When you press them now, feel that springs back instantly.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it's sort of like ready to go, it'll be a bit of a soft. You'll press it and just gently come back.
Okay.
So I have obviously made them earlier. Do you like my boxes?
I do like your boxes.
These are really good. These are good
I love
pizzas.
Tupperware or box like this on my jam.
So I'm not sponsored by Nordic Ware or anything, but they're my friends, and they give me these, and they're brilliant for doing all sorts of food prep.
These are I love this kind
They're
of
really
stuff.
good, aren't they? As you can see, these ones tight and springing right back. These ones just give them a gentle prod. They've risen up. So I'm just going to preheat my air fryer.
We've even got one, and you
I
love it, don't you?
love my.
They're brilliant. They're brilliant. I mean, this one is an oven-style air fryer. So I'm going to do these at 200. Right, let's get this onto here. So I might need you to help me.
I'm going to leave
when
this
they
to
go
the
on the
non-dyslexic dyspraxic people because I will drop
This-
them. I drop everything, I smash glasses, I try
Yes.
to be as careful as I
Really,
possibly
really-
can.
I have the strategy at home, right? So the strategy is I have to buy glasses that I know will be made year after year after year because he smashes at least 6 a week.
What we're going to do is just brush over with a little bit of oil so that they kind of crisp up a bit.
Do you want to use your fingers and just rub them?
Obviously, yeah.
Using your fingers sometimes is the best thing to do, isn't it? Because you can,
You can really get in there.
yeah. I'm going to also melt butter. So as soon as they come out of the air fryer, because we're not deep frying them, we're going to brush them in butter and then we're going to toss them in the sugar, which is going to kind of give them that like fried donut
Nice, love it.
element.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll pop them in.
Right, I'll get the door.
Thank you.
Such a gentleman.
I know, such a gem.
Alexa, set timer 5 minutes. So while it bakes, we can have a little chat.
Yeah.
So what are you up to at the moment?
Well, we're filming Chelsea at the moment.
So yeah, I've been doing Made in Chelsea for nearly 15 years now. I've taken a couple of breaks, but when I met Gareth came on the show, and that's probably 7
Well, we got
engaged, and then I came on the show because originally I didn't want to do it.
That's true.
Oh,
And then he was like, "We're engaged now, so if I'm doing the show, you've got sort of got to come and do it with me."
So yeah, we're still filming. We're filming this afternoon, and it's part of my family. It's part of who I am, and I enjoy doing it.
One of the things I love about doing Chelsea is the crew. We took a year off when we had the kids, and I was like, I do sort of want to go back, but
That's nice.
yeah, because I just missed the crew.
Let your kids be on it.
We have done, yeah. And actually, the reason for that is and this is one of my favourite things about doing reality, the best thing you can do to really be proud of it is share everything. So we shared our marriage, which both of us...
wedding?
Our wedding.
Didn't
yeah.
you get married in the Natural History
Yeah,
Museum?
Natural History
Oh,
Museum,
lucky.
yeah. Then we shared all the IVF journey. It took us 4 years to get there, like all the heartache, all of that.
Sorry. Alexa, stop. Let me just look at this because I'm into your story now. Hang on. Okay, so that's been 5 minutes. Look how much they've puffed
Oh,
up.
amazing! They smell.
So
God, they look
they
incredible.
look good, don't they? So what I'm going to do, very quickly, because I don't want them to deflate, I'm naughty, so I actually like to use my hands for this.
Great.
So I'll put them back in there for about 3 minutes and then we'll give them a test.
We had 4 years of IVF.
4 years?
Well, yeah, it took us 4 years to get there. And do you know what? We thought that it would be straightforward. And we were getting loads of feedback from people being like, look, it's not that straightforward, it's not that easy. And it didn't work for us for the first time. And we found out live on air.
People are going through this around the world, and we
Yeah.
wanted to show what our process was.
And then we just continued to share all of that. And then now, when the kids are born, people have been on that journey with us. So we just sort of share us as a family and
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
So here we go. Let's have a look at these. They're quite dark. I quite like quite dark bake. So they're really hot. We just
Yep.
pop them onto here.
I think it makes them look more homemade and artisan when they're dark.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does a bit. I agree.
Now, what we need to do is just brush them with butter, and then we're going to toss them in some white caster sugar. So it's got that kind of like seaside, the kind of like deep fried South End on Sea
Yeah,
fried
love that.
donuts.
Yeah.
See how I'm doing that? Just a gentle toss.
Gentle
and then
toss.
place onto the
Lovely.
rack.
Oliver, do you want to have a gentle toss?
Obviously.
I can do
This
that.
is good.
I can see you're
I'm
itching to do
itching
it.
to do this now.
Okay.
I'm going to throw it all over
These
the place.
feel amazing.
Yeah, they're nice and light, aren't they? You can feel them in all sorts of things, like a bit of jam in the middle, a bit of custard. While they're cooling down, let's get our bags filled with all our creamy goodness. So, do you like Nutella?
I do. However,
Again,
This
is
is
something.
this is gonna drive
this
you
is something
nuts.
that's driving me mad.
Right.
Right. Gareth doesn't like saying Nutella. He believes it's Nutella.
it's Nutella.
I was like,
It's
how many
guys.
nuts are in Nutella?
No, it's Italian. No, guys,
No
guys,
nuts.
guys. Nutella is an Italian brand. It's Nutella.
But it's
shut
go on. No.
Bite the
Well,
co-op
an Italian,
down the road. it's
Italian. This is
Nutella.
pistachio.
Let's just see what you think, because I really love this.
Oh my god, it's delicious.
It's delicious.
That is delicious.
So good, isn't it?
This is probably the best thing I've eaten in ages. It's delicious.
We've got a proper donut stuffing nozzle there.
Okay, good.
So, because that's going to allow us to get it right in the middle of the ball.
Donut dish.
I feel we're about to help a cow give birth.
Oh my god, yeah, amazing. Oh, this is so clever because this is all going to fold back up on itself.
Yeah. Okay, so now it's time to fill them with our pistachio cream. You'll find it very difficult to squeeze like the entire amount. So what I often do, I have a clip
Yeah.
and I twist it like this, so it's already got a lot of pressure coming on.
Yeah.
So and that's easier to kind of squeeze out a smaller amount.
Push it with your thumb.
I just kind of do it like this. See, so,
fine.
like,
Just
so
work
it's quite. See, here it
Like
comes.
a cow's teat.
Get your donut and then just literally go bosh like that, so you kind of feel that it's
got
like
it.
right in the middle,
Yep.
and then begin squeezing.
Okay. You wiggle it around at all to get
I'm
it
not.
up?
I'm just
No.
literally kind of keeping it in the middle. You've got quite a lot in there, haven't you?
God, that is.
You kind of can feel them a bit slightly inflating.
Yeah.
If I put too much
What you could do,
No,
you
it's
could
going-
actually,
Yours is coming up the top.
Where?
you could, if you wanted to, like weigh it before and weigh it after and think, oh, about 15, 20 grams is about the perfect amount,
Yeah.
I suppose. So do you want to have a go?
Yeah, let's go.
So maybe we'll need to get a bit more in your thing.
Right,
There you
okay,
go.
let's do one twist.
This is really
Slide that
fun,
through.
isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
What do I do with it now? I
Pop
think
it
that's
down
done.
So I'm just going to go in the side.
Yeah, that's it.
Stab. I'm going to.
That was coming out quite a lot. There's a lot in there.
Yeah, quite a lot. Nice.
I'm just really. Oh, it's got quite a big hole.
I like to do savoury ones of these.
Like cheese.
Yeah,
Love a
like cheese and
donut.
Marmite ones or
Oh my god,
something.
cheese and
Not my
Marmite
thing,
are
that's
delicious.
Oh, I love it.
I'm just going to pursue the challenge of putting this entire
Are
parking
you?
bag in one.
Oh no. That's actually quite good.
I mean, this is delicious.
It's so good, isn't it?
Wash my hands.
Right, should we eat them? Ready?
Ta-da.
Oh, look
my
at
god,
that.
that was incredible.
So naughty.
Good, isn't
That
it?
looks amazing.
Should we try one then?
So what's the challenge? You don't lick your
You're
lips
not
when
gonna
eating a
lick-
donut.
you're gonna
And I'm going to go one of these.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Brave.
that's brave because they're going to be runnier.
Yeah.
We're going to need to get tight on his face so we know he's not going to cheat.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. Let's
Yeah.
see if I can do this.
Go
You
on.
might have to kind of fast forward. But, okay.
If I stand there just licking my lips,
That's
a bit weird.
delicious.
Is it?
Oh, look at it. It looks good in there. You didn't.
It's good because
You
you've got
don't-
quite big lips, so it's quite like it must be quite tempting, the surface area
not.
that we've got.
You sure?
Since I've been a child.
Am I the most attractive person in the room right now?
I just
Because
the fact
we're just
that
modelling
it's
it.
now on your chin.
I think you've done everything you've done. What do you think? Because it did. Yeah. It'd be like.
Is it?
You won. You won. You
without
proved
licking
just.
my lips.
There we
And
go.
I will, otherwise I look ridiculous.
You completed the challenge.
I'm saying a good
Thank you.
10 out of 10.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
they are fantastic. Fantastic.
Right. Considering this is done in the airfryer, this is sensational. This is like one of the best dinners we've ever had.
Really?
Oh my god, it's
They're
delicious.
really yummy.
I've
They're
died
really
once
light,
ever.
they're really fluffy. There's a nice crunch on the outside.
I'm so glad. We're going to take some of that home. Now you've got the recipe for how to do. Oh, there it is. Look at that.
See? Absolutely
That's so
delicious.
good.
Love it everywhere. I think I might have overfilled it.
Look, thanks for watching, everyone. If you want the recipe, it's just down there. Thanks for coming to the kitchen today. It was so lovely.
Thank you very much for having us.
And make sure you fill your balls right to the max.
Bye.
Cheers, guys.